Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be basically doing our first playthrough for One Deck Dungeon. So this obviously isn't Marvel Legendary. I've kind of gone in this rabbit hole finding some solo board games. And so this was the first one I kind of ventured into. It's relatively cheap. There's not a lot of content. There's a lot to do in the game, but there's not like a bunch of expansions, so it's like fairly easy to get everything. But this is just the base game. There's another like core box that's got a couple extra, some different characters and a couple different mechanics, and then there's like a small thing that comes with a bunch of heroes. But the basic kind of premises is that you're a kind of like fantasy character, like a knight I'm a rogue in this case, or a paladin, or archer, or whatever, or a mage, and you're going through this dungeon, which is this deck of cards, and we're gonna go through it 3 times. And then we're going to get to the very end, and after we've gone through all 3 floors, there will be a boss for us to fight. So basically, and it acts like a roguelite video game. I don't know if you guys ever played any, but you kind of start a run with nothing, and as you progress through that run, you end up acquiring skills and equipment and stuff like that. And then, like when you die, you basically have to start from scratch. So that's kind of like the kind of purpose of this, or like kind of like the way that this game is. So it's like a roguelite that's also like a puzzle game. And I'll kind of get into that stuff as we're playing it. To me, it makes more sense to like just kind of watch it being played to understand the rules. But basically, we're going to be doing the rogue, and so the rogue here, she starts off with, these are all different colored die that'll come up in different situations. This is what she starts off with. So I get 1 yellow, I get 4 pink. So this is like combat or fight or strength. This is like agility. The green is or the blue is magic. And then I have 5 health. My heroic feat, which is like my special ability, is, let me focus this here. This will focus, maybe. I got a glare. Obviously, you can see the webcam. It's I can roll 1 black die or 2 black die. If either of them are a 1, I lose 1 health and 3 time, and I do this before checking other effects, and it only works when I'm fighting creatures or I'm going through perils, which are kind of like traps. It does not work against the boss. And I'll kind of explain the time thing in a minute. And then I also have a passive ability here. It's a free skill. That is when you flee one area, add a door to the dungeon if it's under the door limit. So again, I'll explain that in a moment. We're starting at level 1, so we can hold 2 skills and 1 item. This skill doesn't count towards that. We get a potion, and then it takes 6 experience to level up to level 2. And then we're doing the Hydra's Reef. So the first floor, any encounter with a peril, we're gonna have to be able to roll a 5 to avoid that. And then any encounter with a fight on the first floor, we have to roll a pink 3 to avoid that. Second floor, come on, focus. The second floor for perils, I'll have to roll a 3 of any color to block that shield. For the attack side, or for the fight side, I have to roll a 5 pink and a 5 yellow. And then on the last floor, and then that compounds with the first floor. And then the last floor I have to get a 5 for this, and then a 5 blue, and then also all black dice are decreased by 1. So black dice kind of act as like a wild card. And there are some things we can do to get other black die, but we'll kind of go into that more as the time kind of comes. So anyway, we're going to start the game off, and we have to spend time, which is cards in the deck. And so to start every turn, we spend 2 times. So it's going to be the top 2 cards. However, in this particular case, on this dungeon, we have sticky surroundings. So we spend 1 extra time at the start of each turn. So we're actually going to spend 3 times. So there's our 3 time. And then we can either explore or enter a room. Now, there are no rooms to enter, so we have to explore. So that is to take the top 4 cards of the deck and lay them out. And these are going to be the dungeon doors that we're going to go through. So we've explored. We're good there. And so then we're going to do our next turn, so we have to spend 3 time. Now, again, normally it's 2. And we're just going to pick a door to enter. So this one. So it's a shadow. Now, we can fight it, but I don't think I have the equipment really to deal with this with my dice. Because I need a 10. I'll need to cover this 3, which it's okay if I don't, but I'll need to cover this shield, and I have to. And I need at least 10 pink for that. I need 3 blue die. And I only have 2, so it's not really going to work out. So we're going to back out of the room. We don't have to fight. We can back out, but it stays face up until it's dealt with. So let's spend more time. And when the deck runs out, we move to the next floor. So we kind of want to not have to spend as much time to do stuff, but we're going to. We have Fire Elemental, which is a very big boy. And actually, I may fight it, so I'm going to fight it. So I'm actually going to use the Heroic Feat here and roll 2 of these black die. And again, if any of them come up as a 1, we have to spend 3 time and lose a health for each one of those. So we're going to run this black die here. And we got 2 4s, so that's good. So we're going to set those aside. Again, those are, they're wild, so they can be on anything. And when we fight a monster, we actually get to use all of our die. And when we come into the situation where we go like through a peril, we'll have to use only the die associated with what we're going to try to do. So here it says before the encounter, place 1 damage on the hero. So we have to before that, so she's going to take a damage. And we're going to have to roll any kind of combination of this stuff, but this will help with it. So we'll go ahead and roll. Okay, so we actually rolled pretty well here. Let's go ahead and set these out. There's going to be some things we have to fix, but it's for the most part looks pretty good. So first off, there's no shield icon, so we're good. We're okay to not have to do that. So let's start filling stuff in. So I've got a 6 here. We're going to cover that 6. I've got, let's see. There's a 6 up there, which is we're probably not going to be able to cover over the blue. We do have... So we have this 5. We're going to put, let's see, let's put the 4 here. We'll put this 3 here because we have to cover that. We have this 11 here that we need to cover, and we can cover with either blue or black. So these kind of have set for aside for a moment. We have a 3, we have a 6, and we have the 11. So we kind of have to figure out what's going to kind of fit here. So I know that I can take, let's see. I don't want to take that damage, so we're going to take there's 5, 9. So one thing you can do is you can take 2 dice that are not black and basically combine them to make a black die of the lower value. So in this case, we have a 5 and a 2. We're going to make a black die of 2. So we're going to have that. So that'll come here to cover the 11. We'll have this cover the 3. And all we have left is the 6 that we can't cover. So we're going to take 1 damage in 1 time. So we're going to take that. We're going to take a time. However, we defeat the monster. And so now this is where the kind of the roguelike element comes into play. On any card, you can take it for an item, which will give us more die, typically. In this case, this was like a really strong monster, so we ended up getting a die and a health. Why won't this focus? I always have this problem with my lighting here. So these are kind of matte card sleeves, so maybe that's kind of creating some of the problem. Come on. Anywho, so we can either get a red die and a health. We can take it as a skill, which this is spend 2 magic, and I can choose either blue, yellow, or pink and increase all my dice of that color by 1, which could come in handy. Or I can take this experience, which is 4 experience. Now, I need 6 to level up, and I really want to level up. However, this gives me this extra health here. But I have a lot of pink, and so I can only hold 1 item right now. So I feel like, despite, I don't know. I'm going to take an experience. So we're going to take an experience. That's 4, so we just need to do a 2, and we'll be able to take care of that. So let's move our stuff out of the way. We can go ahead and do our next turn. So we're going to spend our 2 time plus the 1 because of the dungeon. We're going to flip this one over. It's going to be an org. I'm not fighting that orc guy. He's ogre. So he's an ogre. I'm not going to fight him. He's got way too much yellow I got to take care of. Way too much pink. I can probably cover the pink, but I'll take massive damage from the yellow. So we're going to back out of that room. And in her ability, I can actually fill a door. I don't have to explore to fill a door as long as there's one open. So we're going to fill the door. I'm going to spend time, and let's open a new door. And we've got a spiked log. So with these, we have kind of a couple options here. So with these, we can either pay the lower difficulty, like the lower card count, point count, dice count, I guess, 1, but it also comes with having to spend time, or we can spend for the higher one, and we don't have to have that restriction, but obviously, in this case, the consequence is much worse if we don't cover it. We also will have to cover this 5 over here, regardless. So we are going to try to do it. I do have plenty of pink dye. So let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to do dodge the logs. So I think I can get it with these. So we're going to try. I have to get like a really, they all have to be pretty high, I guess, for this to work. And, oh, this worked out really well. So we are going to have, oh, no, I might be short, actually. Let's see. If I pick, oh, no, it'll be just enough. There's 5 there, and then there's 14 there. And so we got this without taking any damage, which is great. So now we're going to, again, we can take it for a skill, an item, or experience. Now the item's not really something I want. However, the skill says I can pay 1 yellow die to increase up to 4 of my dice by 1. Which, I only have 1 yellow die, so I don't know how well that'll work out. If I use it for experience, I can level up, because I'll have 7. So I may just do that, and then I can hold more things. So we have 7 experience, we have enough to level up, so we're gonna take these cards. These cards will leave the game entirely. So now they're out of the deck, so when we reshuffle for the next floor, we actually have fewer cards. And so when we level up, we gain a potion, which I didn't talk about earlier, but potions can be used anytime to heal 2 with using this turn reference sheet. But if I do it at the beginning of my turn, I can actually heal 3. We also get 1 encounter black die for encounters. So when we roll for anything, we're going to add this into it. So if I roll, again, for something that is a peril that's going to be just agility, I can roll my 4 agility dice with this one. Or if it's just for this, I can roll all 3 of these, and then when I roll for monster fights, I can roll everything. So level 4 gets me 2 of these, so that's kind of why we want to go up there. The more dice we have, obviously, the better we're going to do. But the skills also come in play with kind of doing some manipulation to get some better results. So now that we can equip 3 items and 3 skills, let's start trying to grab some skills here. So we'll go ahead and pay our time. I'll go ahead and check this last door here, and it's going to be another spiked log. And we're going to try to dodge it again. So we're going to run through it, and we're going to do the exact same thing as we did before. So let's see. So this time, let's see what we got. I think we're probably good again, especially because we got a 6 there. We're going to put that 5 there, take care of that. And then we have 6. There's 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we got this. So we can take this as a skill. We pay 4 magic to gain 1 for yellow and 1 for pink. And then we can increase one of our dice by 1. So actually, I'm going to take that. That may come in handy for us a little later. So let's go ahead and pay our time. I'm not kind of really ready to fight either of these guys. I don't feel like I have enough. Well, I actually might be able to. Let's go ahead and try to fight Shadow here. So Fade, it says each times I have to spend a time for each skill I use. So first off, we're going to use our Heroic Feat, and I'm going to use both of them. So actually, let me heal first. I'm going to heal, and I'm going to take 2 of these off. Because if we happen to roll a 1 here, I'll take 3 damage. And in fact, I'll probably die if I roll a 1, but I didn't. We're good. So we've got those 2. We're going to set those aside. Now let's roll the rest of our die. Okay. So let's kind of take a look here and kind of assess what we have. Before we do anything, we do have to cover this 10. Because if we don't cover that 10, then that's just like a thing we have to do. So we're going to cover that 10 with those. That's taken care of. Now, we have a 6 here to cover this. We have 5 here to cover this. We have a 3 here to cover this. We have this 5 here. We have that there. So we actually didn't have to use any skills. We ended up taking care of him. So this particular case, we can either take it as an item, which I probably will, or we could take it as a potion, which we could use, redeem it, and we could change 2 of our non-black dice to be 6s. I'm going to take it for the skill. It's going to slide over here. I've got an extra health, and now I get an extra yellow die for stuff. So I'm going to try to work on getting some blue and yellow die. That way we have more to do stuff with. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my time. We're going to explore again, because I don't think I can fight this ogre. We're going to spend our time. We're going to flip over this room, and it's going to be a glooping ooze. So we've got a lot of yellow to deal with here. However, I may try to fight him. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use my heroic feat. I'm just going to use 1. And it's a 5. Okay, so that helped. And then this is actually spend a time for each 1 rolled. So we're going to have to keep kind of notice of that. Okay, and we did roll a 1. So let's kind of pull these out by color here. Okay, so we're going to have to spend a time for the 1. Now we have to cover the shield, so that's going to get covered, and this will get covered. So now we kind of place things wherever we want. So first off, we're going to cover this. We're going to cover this. We're going to use this 5 here to cover that. We're going to use this 3 up here to cover this, and then I'm going to redeem these 2 for a black 4. And we're going to cover that. So we defeated him. Didn't take any damage. That's great. And then we can either take him for 3 experience, which maybe I think I'm gonna take him for the item because I'll get another blue die, and then I can utilize this later if need be. He also has a skill. I can spend a yellow die to gain 1 black 6. It's only able to use to cover shields, so it's beneficial, but not as beneficial as maybe I'd like. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next door. We have a bandit here, so he's got a lot of pink and a lot of yellow. But let's go ahead and fight him. So it says making a black die uses 3 dice instead of 2. So if we're in any kind of pinch here, we're going to have to use up more resources. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use my heroic feat. So I'm only going to use 1. And it landed kind of in between, but I think if this edge wasn't here, it'd land on the 5 and not the 6, so we're going to take that 5. Okay, so I think this is probably a pretty good setup here. We'll set these out. I'm trying to pull them out by their colors. This will be the one where we're going to have to... we can use our magic to actually do some stuff here because this has no blue. However, we have a skill that does benefit from blue that gives us yellow and pink. So... let's go ahead and we can spend our 4. Well, hold on. Let's kind of figure out what we need to put down first. So first off, we have this here, which will cover that. We have that'll cover that. This will cover this. This will cover this. This will cover this. So now all we have to do is just cover the pink up there, and we can either spend 3 die to make a black pink. But actually, let's use the skill just for the heck of it. So we can spend our 4 magic there. We're going to gain 1 pink 4 and 1 yellow 4. Then we can choose any of our dice to increase by 1. So we're going to increase this one by 1 for whatever reason. And then we can put this over here. Pretty easy. We've taken him out, so that's taken care of. Do it now. We're going to go ahead and... So I can either take him for the item. The skill is I can pay a yellow to increase 4 of my dice by 1 each, which may come in handy, but I only have 2 yellows, so I don't know. So let's take him for experience. I'd like to get kind of a little bit of a jump start on leveling up to level 2. Oh, I get one of these still. Okay. All right. We'll spend our 3 time. And we're getting to the bottom here. So when this is available, we can continue to as soon as this card's available. So this is the last floor, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. So let's look at this one here. Oh, this will be easy. So there's a bear trap. We cannot use this ability for this bear trap thing. We can only use it for fights, but that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and try to run through it. So we have to make 11. Let's make 11 pink, which should be relatively easy. Yeah, so we have to cover our 5 over there, so we'll cover it with this. And we have 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom, we've got that. We're going to take that for experience as well. And then we're going to end the turn, and then we're going to do our 3 times. So we're going to do this. And now when this card's available and there's no cards to pull for time, we put hearts on it. And we can stay on this floor if we want to. However, when we and I could spend my time to come here and fight this guy, and we're good to go. Or we can just go ahead and shuffle everything and start over. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to just remove those. We're going to shuffle this. We're going to take this, start over here, and then we're going to move our dungeon and expose the next thing. So now, like I showed earlier in the beginning, for our fights, we're going to have to cover 3 pink, 5 pink, and a 5 yellow. And for our perils, we have to cover a 5 of any color and a 3 of any color. And the 3 of any color has to be covered because it's got a shield. So these effects are compounding, or these things we have to deal with are compounding. So, all right, but I feel like we're kind of in a good start. I would like to get some more yellow. I'd like to get one more yellow, one more blue, and then I want to try to focus on getting some skills and maybe another potion, just so that we have them in the bank. Now, when we level up, we'll get another potion. All right, so we're gonna start by spending our 3 time. We're going to explore. And then we're going to do our 3 time again. Then we're going to pick a room. It's another bandit here. We're gonna fight him. So let's use our heroic feat. I'm going to use one of them. And it's a 4. We're going to roll the rest of our die. And again, he has that same thing where we have to make 3 of one, 3 to make a black die. Alright, so let's pull this black out here. Let's pull these blues out. We really can't do anything with the blues, but that's okay because we have our ability. We have some pinks here, and then we have our yellows. So, let's see here. It's a lot of 5s. So, I'm going to go ahead and use... I'm thinking here. We want to... This can take care of that. We have this for this. This for this. We have this. We have this. So now I'm going to spend some of my magic. We're going to get a 4. We're going to get a 4 of each of these. Oop. And then I can increase one of my dice by 1. So let's kind of think about that, because maybe I can actually use a black die. Where is the 4 of that? Okay, there's a 4, and there's a 4. So let's kind of, maybe I can increase one of these by 1. The problem is I'm only going to be able to cover one of these 2 yellows. And so I'm kind of just stuck with taking the consequence of one of those. So I'll just increase this by 1, that's fine. That'll cover that. Like I said, these get covered, and then this covers this. And yeah, if I try to make any kind of other combination, it's not going to be enough to do anything. So we're going to take 1 damage, and we're going to spend 1 time, but we've defeated him, which is great. We're going to take this as experience. So now we have 8 experience. We're going to level up. And again, these get removed from the game. So now we can actually hold 5 items and 4 skills. We're going to get a potion. And then we still get to keep the 1 die for the encounters. So put that back. Let's see, we have this, 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 and this. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and spend our time to move down to the next door. Okay, we've got a goblin here, and he's got swarm. It says X equals 4 per open door, including this one. So this box here is going to be 4. We're going to go ahead and fight him. I'll go ahead and use my heroic feat. I'm only going to use one of them. It's a 3. Whew. There's always like a fear that it's going to end up being like, you know, something way worse. Here, I'll put this here. This seems like it works out pretty well. It only took me 25 minutes to realize that. Okay, so we got a good look here at the die. So, we only need 4 to cover that. So we're going to use, well, let's see. Let's use these 2. This will cover the 4. Then we're going to use our 4 here to get us our dice of each of these, and then I got to make, I need to somehow make a, I'm going to make this a 5. gonna make that a 5. I didn't really get a good situation here. This 6 is gonna cover this. This 4 is gonna cover this. This 5 will cover this. This 5 will cover this. This 3 will cover this, so that's taken care of. So right now we have a 3 and a 4, and I can't really do anything. What I can do is this. Let's go ahead and I can make this 2. I can take these 2 and make them a black 1, so that covers that, and then I have this. And unfortunately I don't have any other die to convert, so I just take the 1 time. But that's taken care of, so we did win that encounter here. And so we can take it for attack, which would be interesting, but we can also spend a pink to prevent damage, and then in the boss fight can prevent 2 damage. We have a lot of pink, but I do kind of want the sword here, so we're going to take it for the item. Whenever we get to a point where we have too many items, we can exchange one when we get a new one, and that becomes experience. So if something else comes down the road a little bit better, we can always take that instead. But let's go ahead and take this. We have now 3 of those, 4 of those, and 3 of those. Okay, not bad. All right, so let's go ahead and spend our time. We're going to try this room here. It's going to be a skeleton. If any of the boxes are empty, we're going to spend 2 time. So let's go ahead and we'll fight him. And he's got a little bit of everything. So I am going to roll my heroic feat, just one of them. Whew, that was scary. We got a 2 off of that. Alright. And the reason I rolled it separately is because the turn order says specifically use your heroic feat, and then we're going to gather our dice, and then we're going to use them and do our stuff. So, alright, so we got to cover the shields first. So we've got a 2 on this one. We'll take that care of that. And then I guess we'll have to use this one for this, which is totally good. And keep in mind, we can convert this over, so let's fill out some other stuff first. So there's a 6, that's taken care of. 6, that's taken care of. Well, that was really nice. There's a 5, that's taken, or 6 taking care of that. There's that, take care of that. There's that, taking care of that. So now we have a 5 and a 3. Okay, that'll take care of that. Then we'll use our magic to get us a 4 and an 8 of the yellow, and then turn 1 into a 5, which I'm not even going to bother getting out, and that'll cover that. So we got it fairly easy there. So we can take this, again, we can take it for this. We can take it for a potion. We've got 2 potions, so I'm pretty satisfied with that, so we'll take it for experience. Try to get to that 10 experience before, I'd like to do it before we drop to the next floor, because then we can spend the next turn, or the next floor, just grabbing a ton of skills and items. So let's see. Well, okay. So the ogre again. So I could try to fight him. It's a lot of experience points. Also, he's got a really cool ability where I can spend 6 magic to pick a value, and then change up to 5 of my dice of that value to 6s, which would be crazy. However, if I don't roll the yellows, I mean, I gotta get 12 here, 9 here, and 6 there. I've got to cover that. It's just a lot. So we're not gonna fight him. I'm gonna back out, and in backing out, get to replace a floor. We'll spend our 3 time. Ideally, I think you'd want to fight if you can, just because you're spending time if you leave. But with her ability, I get to refill, and I can still check stuff out. So, in this case, we're gonna go for this. And we're gonna do this cave in here. So we're actually gonna climb over it. And I think this should be plenty to I don't have to risk it with the heroic feat. So we're going to climb over it. We have to get 11 pink. We also have to get a 5 and a 3 over there. And this should be fine. So we have 3 to cover that. We need a 5 to cover that. So if I took this, this gives us 10. So that puts us short. So we're going to have to probably take the damage. Yeah, I think we're going to have to take the damage, because this will be... I'm just like 1 shy. I have to do that, and there's nothing else I can do for it. Well, it's like I have the exact amount, but I don't have it in the distribution I need it. Right? Because this will be 10, yeah. So we're gonna just do this. We're gonna fill this out here. That way we take 1 damage and we take 1 time, rather than 2 damage and 2 time, because that was the alternative. And we have an ability here that we can convert 2 magic to 5. However, I'm going to go ahead and take it as experience as well. I just feel like we're getting close there. So we're going to do that. We'll explore. I think I got too many. No, I think I'm good. And then we'll spend our time again. We're almost at the bottom of the floor, so it's unlikely we'll be able to level up before we go over. But let's go ahead and take out this slooping goo. So he's also got this, spend one. I spend a time for each one rolled. We're gonna do heroic feat. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pay to heal, and then I'm gonna do this heroic feat. And I'm going to do both of them. Okay, so we're good there. Let's roll the rest of them. So it's our 4 pink, our 3 blue, and our 3 yellow, and our 1 black. He's worth 3 experience, which means I need 1 more worth 3 experience and I can level up, which would be really great. But I do like the fact that, like, this is a better item than this. But I don't know if I can take the item. I can swap the item out, or I think I probably just have to, when I get to capacities, when I can remove them. Because that's actually a better one, but it's probably worth less experience, so we'll probably just take it for experience. Alright, so let's kind of assess the situation here. I think that was a 5. It might have been a 4. I don't know if I bumped it or not, so I'll just say a 4 just to not cheat myself. Okay, first off, we have to cover the those there. That gets taken care of. We've got to cover this. 2 ones were rolled, so we're gonna have to spend the time for that and spend 1 more time because the stairs are empty. We're gonna have to cover. Okay, we have this. We have this. Actually, yeah, we have this. No, that I need a 6 there. Okay, let's think about that for a second. Let's do this. That's a 3, and that's a 2. I may end up just taking a little bit of damage. We have to cover that. This will cover this. This will cover this. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how can I make a 6 out of the situation. Unfortunately, I don't have enough magic here to convert what I needed to. I can do this, however, so let's do this. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to convert this to a black 3, and then I'll cover that. Oh wait, that's already what I have. Well, darn it. Never mind. It's not going to work. I already had a black 3. I don't know what I was thinking. I feel like there's probably something I can do to kind of optimize this, but I just am not aware of what that is. So we're just probably going to take the damage and take the time, which is totally fine. We'll just do that. We're going to take the damage. We're going to take the time, which is another one here, but we're going to move floors. We're going to take this for experience as well. So there's that. And then we're going to go ahead and pick these up and move down to the last floor. All right. All right, so we're getting there. Okay. So in this case, we're going to have to, all our black die are going to decrease by 1. So we got to kind of keep that in mind. And then when we get to the boss fight, I'll explain what that looks like. So let's go ahead and we'll do our 3 to start. And then we'll explore. And then we'll do our 3 again. And it normally is 2, but because, again, we're in the Hydra's Reef, we have to do 3. So let's go ahead and go here. Okay, so I'm actually going to try to take this out, because if we can do this, we'll level up, and we'll be in a good spot. So we're gonna go for this. I am going to use my heroic feat, and I'm going to use both of them, because I want to make sure we get this. We have a lot to cover, and they're going to be decreased by 1 because of the thing. So we've got a 4 and a 5, which turn into a 4 and a 3. So we've got those, and then let's roll our pink die, because we're going to try to dodge him. Okay, and then this is going to turn to a 4. All right, so we have to cover the shields first. So there's 3 we're covering. There is 4 we're covering, or 5 we're covering, I'm sorry. And then I'd like to cover, let's see, I can cover, it's like I'm 1 short again. I can cover that 5, but then I have 12, 13, so that kind of throws me off. So I think we're just have to take the 1 damage and time up there to cover everything else. So that'll cover that. Oh, here, this will cover it for sure. And we're going to take 1 damage. And we're going to take a time. However, we're going to go ahead and take this for experience. So now we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to level up to level 4, which will give us 2 black die for encounter. We're going to get a potion, which is set us up towards the end. I'm hoping maybe we can get another potion from a monster, and then we kind of are okay to use it. And then if I end up getting 5 experience, I can convert it to a potion, which may not be a bad option either. But I can carry 7 items and have up to 5 skills. So we're gonna start beefing up and grabbing stuff. All right, so we've got a beetle here. If any of the armor boxes are empty, discard this instead of loot it. So we just lose it entirely. So we're going to want to get that. So let's run our heroic feats. We're going to run both of them. Because at this point, we might as well, right? Okay. And then they're going to drop down 1 each. So this will be a 3. This will be a 2. Because this doesn't have any of the big boxes. So I didn't explain that earlier, but I think at this point you've gotten it. If it's a single square, 1 die has to cover it. But if it's a long square, then any number of die can cover it. All right. Okay, so this becomes 0, effectively. This is gone. And then this becomes 5. And then we've got all this stuff. So let's go ahead and start covering the shields, because that's what we need to first. I think this was a 3. I just bumped it. So I'll cover that. This will cover this. This will cover this. This will cover this. Okay. We do need to cover one of these. This is now we're kind of in a bad spot here. We are going to spend this magic to get us the 2 4s. And then I'm going to turn one of these 4s to a 5, which will be that. It's like I don't really have any good options here. We'll cover this with a 3. We'll cover this here. We'll cover this here. And unfortunately, it's not like I can do a whole lot of anything else. The other can combine some stuff and get a black 3, but I need 5s I need to cover. That's a 4. Well, this will cover that. They're both 4s. That's a 5, and that needs to be covered. Okay, so I think we're just going to take the 2 damage and the 1 time. But that's okay. We'll heal on our next turn, and then... So this will actually... I'm going to take this for the skill. So I can spend a yellow die to get a 6. A yellow 6. So we're going to take that as a skill. So we've got that there. And then we're good here. So let's kind of, again, reassess what we have. Okay. I'm going to spend at the beginning of my turn to heal 3. All right. All right, so this house has a swarm thing, so he's got, for every face-up card, that's X. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to just roll what I have. I think I can make it without. We'll see. Okay, so our blacks go down 1, so this is 4. This is 1, so we'll take those out first. Got our pinks here. Got our yellows. I think this was a 5, not a 6. And then we've got our blues. So we're kind of in a rough spot with the blues, so we'll have to figure something out here. However, let's go ahead and start filling this out. This is a 4, it takes care of that. And that's the one that we have to do. Now let's start piecing together the rest of it. We need to cover this, and this. We need to cover the pinks here, so there's a 5 there. We have a 4 here. And we'll cover that. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Do we want to cut? Yeah, we'll cover this 3. Then I have all of this here. So I'm going to use... Oh, actually, what we can do is spend this to turn into a 6. But it doesn't really matter where we put it because, yeah, that doesn't matter. We need to use 4 of this to convert some stuff. Or to get some extra stuff. So let's use this to... I'm trying to think here. We use this to get our 2 of these. Then we can turn something into we can increase something by 1. So I want to increase this one by 1 to make it a 5. It'll cover this. However, I don't think I've got enough to cover... Well, I've covered every box but the 5 over there. Is there a way that I can manipulate this to do what I need it to do? I don't think so. Alright, so we're going to take the 1 damage. And I'm going to take this for... We'll take it for this item here, which is going to be another pink dye. So we have 5 pink dye now. We've got our 3 blue, we've got our 2 black, and we've got our 3 yellow. Alright, let's go ahead and do our next 3. We're going to flip over this guy. Oh, we're going to just bash it open. So that'll be nothing. That'll be no problem at all. So this drops down to 0, basically. This drops down to 2. It became a problem because I got to cover this, and I can't do anything else because I don't have enough. So we're going to take 1 damage 1 time, 2 damage 2 time, so 3 damage and 3 time we're taking. But we're going to get this, so we're going to take our 3 damage and our 3 time. I'm going to go ahead and actually take this for attack. I need it, and then we're going to end the turn, and I'm going to spend my potion to clear 2 of these. But now I need a potion, so we're going to have to figure that part out. Man, that was kind of rough. Okay, spend our 3 time. Let's go ahead and do the next room, and we're actually down to the bottom, so we don't have a whole lot we can really do. We're going to spend our time, and we have 1 more room to check. And that's kind of it. So it's really a matter of which one of these rooms we want to try. We're going to go for this one, and it's the dreaded ogre that I'm not going to be able to fight. So I'm not going to fight him because we're going to take too much damage. So I'm going to go ahead and end the turn. These are going to go back. I've got 4 health. We're going to clear these out. These all come off the board. And then we're going to face the Hydra here. So this is the Hydra. He's got 5 health. I have to cover all of the things here, but if I cover the items that have the skulls, they'll do damage. So he has an ability, before placing damage, remove 1 damage from Hydra for each visible skull there. So we can't use our heroic feats. We can use our abilities here, however. And we have our loads of dice, so we're going to just go after it. If I take 4 damage, I'm dead. So let's see. This is going to be the hard part here. Wait, I have to make sure I have everything. I've got 5 pink, I've got 3 blue, I've got 4... Yeah, okay, we're good. Alright, so we've got to figure out the best way to kind of fill these out. And first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and use one of our skills to turn this into a 6, because why not? We are going to use magic to get us the 4s, and I'm going to kind of figure out, I'm going to turn this into a 6. So I can convert something into a up 1. So that's going to turn to 6. So we're first going to take this, cover that. We're going to cover this, and then we have to kind of cover everything else. I don't know about we'll hold off on these because maybe we can get to that other 6. So we need 19 yellow to start. Well, actually, let's do the pink first. So we need 13. So there's 5. There's 10. There's 14. So the pink is covered. And then, so I've got this extra pink here. Then we've got to cover the 13 and the 19. So let's see the best way to kind of go about this. We may just end up eating the 2 damage. So for 13, we've got 9, 13. So there's 13 right there. That's covered. For the 19, however, this is 8. This will be 12, so this will be 20. So we'll be able to cover that. So we're going to take 2 damage. However, we covered up 3 of the skulls, and so we're going to deal him 3 damage. So there's that. So there's a round there. So we're going to take him, and we're going to start a new round. So if the next round, because it says before placing damage, remove 1 token or 1 damage from Hydra for each visible skull. So I think we can probably kill each other, but if we can cover all of them up the next time around, we'll win, and that's exciting because I've only won this game 1 time and it was on the easier dungeon. So if we get a win on this, I'll be excited about that. So let's set those aside because we're going to probably end up using them. I just want to make sure I've got the right dice count. We're going to set that aside. We have 4 yellow, 5 pink, 3 blue, and 2 black. All right, this is it. Let's see if we can defeat him. We're going to need to cover up all of that stuff. But if we take 2 damage, we're dead. So if we don't cover up everything, we're dead. Okay, so first off, we're going to convert this 1 into a 6. I think that's enough said there. We're going to take... I don't know about the magic part because I don't want to waste. We're going to spend this, and it's not a waste. We're going to spend this for our 2 of these. And I'm going to turn one of these into a 5. Or turn this into a 3. I guess it doesn't really matter. Turn this into a 3. Okay, so let's kind of cover that. We're going to cover that one first. We're going to cover this one next. Let's take the pinks first. Actually, I'm going to move this down because we'll use a black for it if we need to. Let's take care of the pinks because that's going to be kind of the important part. So we have 4, 8, 13. Yep. There's 13, so those are taken care of. Now, oh man, I think we might be able to do it. I'm like super I'm nervous. Can we make 19? There's 10. There is 16, 17, 18, so we're short. So we need, this is 19. This was a 2. So there's 19 there. Now the question is, we have to make 13, and I don't think we're going to be able to do it. We've used way too many die. So, because we have 6, 7, 8, that's not going to be enough. We can convert to 1, making it 9, so we can't do that. Let's take these 2 off. We'll switch this out for the 4. That's still going to give us what we need. Let's kind of reassess this part here. Maybe we can piece stuff together. So this is 6, this is 10, this is 13. So given what we have, right? This is 13, right? Yeah. So given what we have, we've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 14. I can make 16, which is still short. So I don't think there's a world in which we work this out. Let me kind of... Okay, it doesn't really matter because I think it just... Yeah, I don't think there's a world where we work this out because we're going to end up taking too much damage. 6, 10, 13, 16, 19, 6 here. We can cover that, but the thing is we're gonna remove a damage and then give him 2, and then he's gonna kill us. Yeah, I think that's it. So before taking the damage, we're gonna remove 1. We're gonna give him 2, but we're gonna take 3, and we died. So we died right at the end. But you know, we got really, really close, and that was a lot of fun. So anyway, that's gonna be a playthrough for today. I've gotten into a lot of solo board games. I've got Imperium Legends. I'm still waiting on Classics. I've got Set a Watch. I haven't played Set a Watch yet, but I have it. I've got Sentinels of the Multiverse. So these are all things I want to do for videos. I kind of want to just throw into the rotation some other games because while I love Legendary a lot, there's other games to be played, and I'm kind of delved into this new world of solo board gaming, and so I kind of want to bring that to you guys, some just different options. Like I said, this game here is like a $20 game. It's really cheap. Just this set here, very, very cheap. And it's a lot of fun, and like it seems very hard. It's very hard. However, as you can learn to play, you learn the mechanics, you start to figure stuff out. So it is a lot of fun. But anyway, that's it for today. The next one, I can keep doing these, and I have no problem doing it. And it's a campaign. We could do the campaign. I would be fine with that. But I'd like to do maybe a Sentinels of the Multiverse or a Imperium Legends video soon. So be on the lookout for that. I do have to give you guys a Villains playthrough for the month, so we'll do that probably coming up next before we do another Legendary regular Marvel game. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.